Hello team, my name's Josh. I'm here from Sportitude Running, and I've got an extremely special guest with us today. Tom Price is from Melbourne, and Tom has an outrageous, outstanding, I don't know what the technical term we'd like to use, but it is an amazing goal coming up in December, January, and you're doing it for a fantastic cause. So Tom, thank you for flying over from Melbourne to Adelaide. We are going to help Tom out with his footwear, his nutrition, and apparel to get him through this big project. But thanks for coming, Tom, and tell us what you are doing, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. First of all, I'm just supremely humbled to have Sportitude on board. It's been quite overwhelming, but it's definitely something that I need to get this up and running to achieve success. So I'll be running 50 marathons in 50 days during December the 9th to the 27th of January in Melbourne. Most of the runs are going to be around the Patterson Lakes, Chelsea Bicentennial Park area.
Pretty flat?
Pretty flat. There's a couple of bridge climbs and stuff, but it's just scenically it's amazing. It's good under the foot as well, and it's close enough to a beach where I can do a bit of recovery after. So it's not about the running though. It's for a bigger cause, which is for my niece. Her name's Sylvie. She was born this year prematurely at 23 weeks and 6 days, 628 grams. So very small and fragile start to life, and it's been pretty rocky. I think any newborn parents find it quite hard. Just the experience of parenthood, but when you've got a fragile little one that you don't know what's going to happen, it's such an emotionally challenging roller coaster. I'm also doing it for my sister as well, so she's supported me massively in my life, and it's time for me to give back. And there's only one way I know how. Like financially, I don't think I could make an impact at the Royal Women's, which is where I'm doing it and who I'm doing it for, and for the NICU, which is the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. So financially, I don't think I'll make much of an impression or into changing things, but physically, I know I can do something, and that's running a lot of kilometres to hopefully raise awareness, but also 50k is the ballpark to start with, and I think we can go a lot further than that once it reaches a few people.
Yeah, fantastic. We're at the end of September now, and we're 10% the way there, right? So $5,000.
Yep.
And I think $50,000 is certainly very achievable, which I'm really excited. Like obviously our community, we will spread the word far and wide, and get the whole of Australian running community behind this, because it is a fantastic cause. I've got to ask the impact that something like this has on a family directly. So it's hard, isn't it, with things so far out of your control.
Yeah.
Right, and you're in the hands of the fantastic people at the Royal Women's Hospital.
Yeah.
And they're saints in themselves, right? They're amazing people, what they do, but. Have you had a discussion about sort of what the funds could go towards that you raised?
I can't speak highly enough. Like I was only there a couple of times, and that just goes to show a close family member could only visit a small amount, and my sister had COVID, and they had a few things that go wrong, and the environment's so scary. It's so emotionally challenging. I remember just sitting there going, I've got to do something. Like this is just such another world in itself, and so my sister, they get sort of a limited amount of time each day to have skin-to-skin contact with their child. Wow. It's only, I think it might be about an hour, and sometimes in really uncomfortable positions. I think anyone that's a parent knows if you're holding your child when they're sleeping or those sort of things, and imagine a baby that's really small and wearing a headpiece, an oxygen mask and all this sort of stuff going on. So they have these things called kangaroo chairs, which are like a reclining chair. They're about $2,500 to $2,700.
Oh, wow.
The aim is to get 20 of those donated to the hospital. This isn't for us. This isn't for my family in particular. This is for all the NICU families that are going to be there now, but also in the future. The hospital can hold up to about 60 babies at a time, and there's only 10 chairs. So parents are having to stand up with their baby or sit down in uncomfortable chairs. So if they've got a reclining chair, they can actually soak up that 1 hour they get a day to hold their child. Is amazing, and there's so many benefits for the child as well, with their development and growth through that skin-to-skin contact, feeling each other's body temperature and scent and that sort of thing, and it's such a memory that parents will never forget. So seeing my sister hold my niece, I said, the second time I went and visited, I said, Zoe, I'm going to be running 50 marathons for you.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I know physically I like doing things that are a bit outrageous,
Yep.
but we're going to raise money for these chairs, and we're going to give back to this hospital.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So obviously there's the emotional, physical challenges that your sister's been through. Certainly your niece, right? I mean, as an innocent human being coming into the world, the fight they have from day dot is far surpasses 50 marathons in 50 days, doesn't it? For them to get to a healthy weight and to maintain that. But you're a saint in yourself, mate, for doing this. I'm so excited that we're behind you and getting you the support that you need to achieve this goal. With running as your vehicle, what is it about running? When did you start your running journey?
Yeah, I started about 3 and a bit years ago now, sort of like many during COVID. During Melbourne lockdown, 2020, I'm a teacher, and we knew that we were going to be at home for a very long time. And like many things, the gyms closed down, the facilities closed down. I've never been a runner, and for me, 2019, I went through probably the hardest time of my life with a lot of sort of trauma in itself, and Zoe helped me a lot with that. And I didn't want to get to the stage where another illness or disease comes up in life, and for everyone something's going to happen to them at some point, whether it's now, whether it's when they're old. So I overcome some massive hurdles in my life, and then running changed everything. I saw personal growth that comes with it, but just the dopamine kick that you get after a run, there's nothing like it. I like to run alone. I've started running with mates now that are comfortable running with me, but I've realised how much it's changed my life for the better. My conversations with people are so much better. My relationships with people are better. My physical health, my social health, my mental health. All of this has come from running, and I sort of thank COVID for coming around, because I probably wouldn't have got into it if it wasn't for that, but also some of the hurdles that I've gone through to get to this point.
Oh, good on you, mate. I mean, we are sitting only just across an invisible line, basically it splits South Australia and Victoria. We knew the challenges that you guys faced, especially in Melbourne, in the thick of it. What were the restrictions? Was it only like a limited amount of time out per day, and you couldn't go? What was it? 5 kilometres?
Yeah, it was like 5 kilometres, and for someone that was, I went from 0 to sort of 90 k's a week.
Oh wow!
And haven't looked back. And for me, when you've got an hour outside, it was quite challenging. And so we sort of had to make do with what we could. And so I think everyone sort of, found some sort of joy in running or some sort of cardio, whether it be walking on nature, and just connected that way. So it's sort of nice to see other people experiencing somewhat of what I was experiencing too. So
of course, and being a teacher as well, you became an expert at Zoom or Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, Microsoft Teams. Right? We're all over that. So many new platforms that the kids had to adjust to, but us as teachers, whether you're newly into the caper or the teachers that have been around for a while, such a 360.
Yeah, very, very challenging, right? So running for you was that great release. You saw personal growth emotionally, physically, etc. That's amazing. And with such a challenge that you've set, have you sort of looked at obviously how you're going to build up to potentially that like load requirement on the body, and then maybe what the tapering might look like leading into December 9?
December the 9th. So that'll be the first marathon, which I'm itching to get started. I've got the sort of 7 and a bit weeks off work, which is awesome. So my sole focus is going to be I can zone in and just concentrate on the run each day. And load-wise, sort of about 140, 150 clicks at the moment this year. So that's going to come up a bit, but all sort of easy runs, just listening and learning from my body as well. And I'm thinking a bit of a taper sort of rest period maybe beforehand, because we'll be doing just shy of 300 k's a week. So it's going to be crazy. It's
a lot of volume. Are you a podcast listener? Do you dial into a podcast or two?
I'm a bit weird. Like I love a podcast. I love nothing. I love my sort of rap music. A bit of a compilation of things, but the more that I'm in my head, the better. For me. Oh,
fantastic. So running just centralises you, hey? Oh,
just
amazing.
Growth.
Yeah, fantastic. In terms of this obviously concludes on January 27, right?
Yeah.
So we hope we achieve that goal. of raising that $50,000. But what I have really taken out of this is your selfless approach and more your sister's selfless approach too, that you're not doing it for your family, you're not doing it necessarily for her, but you're doing it for everyone who's going to go through this in the future, because unfortunately there's no cure, right, to this potentially happening again. So.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I couldn't believe when I walked into the NICU that this is happening, and as I said, this isn't for us at all. There's no donations or funds going towards my family. We're hoping for a bright future for my niece and a healthy future, but this is for her. This is for all the little friends out there that she met, and it's for the families. Like, we want to make them feel as comfortable as possible in that environment, which is so hard and challenging when you can't stay, you can't, you're not close by for some people. Some people are single parents going through this situation. So the more that we can, make that a comfortable process, the better. A big part of this is I'm doing this for my sister as well. So she, they overcome cancer treatments to get to this point of pregnancy. So she had cervical cancer, which was quite challenging. She also did 5 years of IVF with her partner. And then for Sylvie to try weasel a little way out at 21 weeks, it was it felt like just another stone being thrown at how unfair is this. But fast forward sort of 7 months now, she's putting on weight. She's still got a feeding tube in, which is causing a little bit of havoc. But
how heavy was she, Tom, when she was born?
628 grams.
628 grams.
Yeah, very, very tiny. And you can just see how fragile they are. Their skin's like scaling, like everything's underdeveloped. Your lungs aren't fully developed, your respiratory system and stuff like that. So it's not meant to happen. Babies aren't meant to come out at that stage. And 10 years ago, the doctors and professionals would have said 24 weeks or under, that's it. But now the research is always advancing, and the funding, they get a little bit of government funding, but obviously that goes to all the
research departments, right?
Yeah, the research, but also the life care equipment that is keeping this baby alive. Doesn't go towards the things that probably parents need. The parents are massive parts of that environment, making sure their baby comes out happy, healthy, and same as them. Like, it's pretty traumatic.
100%. Wow, I've got a million questions, but obviously being a parent myself and not having to go through something like this, I'm really quite emotional just listening to you talk about it, because I knew what I went through, and it's almost like a privilege for parents who have come out and had a lucky sort of, I'll say a lucky break, to be honest. Being able to have skin on skin contact for more than an hour a day, and take a healthy baby home. Either that day, next day, or the day after. It's a big thing, right?
It's pretty scary when, as I said, you go in there and they're hooked up to a machine that's beeping, all these different alarms. Like, they had at times doctors just running and pull things out and take your baby away, and you don't know what's happening at times, but they're doing the right things. They're all there. They know what's going on, but it's quite intense. And you're in a room with another 3 couples going through the exact same thing. I didn't realise how sort of it's just a really, really tough time for everyone. And I can't thank the nurses and doctors in that enough, because the hospital actually does such amazing things to make the parents feel comfortable. So they'll do things like not just their cheerful personality. Those nurses work overtime, but also printing off photos of your baby, putting them around, writing your letters from your child, celebrating Mother's Day, things like that. They've got gifts. They've got a lot of volunteers. We're working closely with a company called NICU Cheer, which is not for profit. They actually, Maddie and her partner actually make gift bags for parents going through this sort of stuff, and they donate those bags. So, like, things that are going to make a mum and dad happy, but also replicate what it would be like at home, getting these little presents and gifts for your child. So
amazing.
There's lots of good people out there in the world.
100%. From our perspective, we are really excited to obviously do what we can to support you to achieve your goal. It's much bigger than running, and you said that a couple of times, which is so true. I mean, running is a privilege, and we're lucky enough to have the choice to get out and go for a run or not, but you're choosing to use running as a vehicle for such a bigger cause than yourself, and I think you're an absolute legend for doing that.
Thanks, mate.
So what we're going to do as a business and as a brand is we're going to do all we possibly can to share with you, the community, how you can get on board, how you can donate to Tom's cause. Obviously, there's a GoFundMe page which we'll share links on our social media and obviously in the description of this video below as well. But from your perspective, what is your Instagram tag? Sorry,
It's called The Price of Running.
Price of Running.
So yeah, _price_ etc. etc. So all my social media posts with you guys and the lead up to the runs and during the runs will be through there. People can follow me on Strava as well. It's the same handle. So yeah,
absolutely amazing, mate. We wish you all the very, very
Thanks,
best. No doubt it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging, but you've got good people around you. You've got a sister that. Mate, she sounds like she's 7'5". Just a strong human being. So
yeah, it's enough motivation for me to get it done. So I'm super excited. I just want to get into it.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
All the
Thanks,
very
mate.
best, Tommy.
Cheers,
bud. Take care. So there you have it, guys. We've got a big challenge all collectively to get behind Tom and his goal to raise $50,000. The money is going to be very well spent. As Tom has said, this is something that's not going to go away. And for those at the Royal Women's Hospital in Melbourne, it's going to give that NICU,
NICU,
more resources to make this challenging time as comfortable as possible for new parents and obviously new babies coming into the world. So thanks again, Tom, and
Thanks, mate.
we'll get behind it.